WorldSurfLeague.com. L.Fioravanti in the water, up against his good friend Kanoa Igarashi, doing battle in this round of 16 for a spot in the quarterfinals on Kaipo along with Peter Mel. Now they have to reposition themselves.
Look at Kanoa underneath.
Kanoa not able to get the snake there. Fioravanti floats it through that first section. Oh, this looks like a good wave for the Italian surfer. Bashes the lip there, a little bit of release, purchases on the fins with some drive off the bottom, finds enough drive to find some more open face, multiple combos to the finish.
Very smart in way you compete in heats. They've watched a lot of heats in their life, so that's why they're so competitive. Great move by L.Fioravanti. He found himself a set wave to start this heat off, and he surfed this one well. Not the longest wave, but there were some high impact moves and great variety in it, and he packed it in. Both of these surfers riding sharp eye surfboards too. That was pretty cool. Kanoa trying to push Leo, and that tactic there was good because what he was doing was trying to push Leo, had to go deeper and maybe put Leo to a point where he couldn't make the wave, but it didn't work out. And Leo hammered this one, and he's going to get himself a nice solid number, and this is where the scale will be set for this heat.
Yeah, slow motion here, and you can see Kanoa having to duck dive there right behind Leo.
And in reality, that's, he's being a little bit in danger there of getting a paddling interference. There is a rule. If you paddle in front of a surfer, you can get interference. That's why you see him duck dive and just submerge himself underneath. Look at this turn here, up and over, compressing. And that was literally instinct, just adjusting to what the board was going to do under his feet. And then straight into a beautiful layback snap. I love that move. That's one that I go to quite often because it's just a good feeling.
Right behind him, Kanoa Igarashi. Smooth carve for Igarashi. He kicks out, and he wants to maintain priority at the beginning of this heat.
Yeah, and I will say these two surfers both have really high heat IQ, and a lot of that has to do, he touched on the experience, and that was a huge part of it. He was playing cat and mouse with Rio through it. Watching that first turn there by Kanoa Igarashi, nice little drift of the fins. This wave's a little soft on the outside, but then he's able to pull that one off. So again, big float, the tail drift, and the air, and the finish. A little tail drift once again. So this is a good wave for Kanoa Igarashi, way to bounce back from his early start of the 183. He would have loved this wave been a one-wave set, but it wasn't. So the advantage will stay with Leo as we watch the outside turn there. That's the layback snap where that back arm stays behind through the maneuver. And then here, the little drift. See how he compresses and all that front leg pressure to be able to allow the tail to drift out. You see his foot moved all the way up a good probably 6 inches. And again, into the air. And to be able to come out of a turn like that and gain enough speed to be able to do an air reverse after that, that's why they're the best in the world. It's incredible. It's very difficult to do. Again, another tail drift. I mean, every single turn.
Exchange happening here. Kanoa Igarashi and now L.Fioravanti. He's going to back up the 8. Kanoa's going to get into action with his number, but Fioravanti on the inside here. Nice finish for Leonardo Fioravanti.
Got to have that in your repertoire. We saw it just then by Kanoa as well as Leo Fioravanti's. It felt like Kanoa actually got the better of the exchange until that last move, where I feel like Leo actually, his air reverse is a little more dynamic, especially the way he was able to rotate out of it to get that extra number there. And I loved what he did there for Kanoa. Great answer to the 8 by Leo Fioravanti. Next wave here, a little smoother, but he didn't quite have the vertical section, especially right here where it starts to flatten out. So it feels like to me that the Kanoa will probably get a little bit of the advantage, especially since this downtime here. But this air reverse was very cool because of the nose pick. Rotate around. That was in a critical section, especially to rotate around like that. Super hard to do. Watch this. Front foot all the way to the nose, about 12 inches of the nose, and then somehow his foot keeps on the back and rotates around. That is a beautifully done air reverse.
Yeah, and interesting, you can see the board underneath his feet, how much control he has over it. But L.Fioravanti, Igarashi with priority, Fioravanti on the inside here. Here we go, Kanoa needs a 5.83. Let's see what he has. Lining up down the line. Slash to start. Clears the water here. Snap, throws the fins. One more snap for Igarashi. Comes around the corner and a big slash again. Finish through the white water. Thinks he got the job done. Just needs a little bit above a mid-range score, 5.83.
There's a couple lines out the back, but this wave, much better quality. And he surfed this wave beautifully. The carving snap there, had to kind of pump his way to get around the corner to get to that open face, as you had mentioned, but now gets the work done. And that turn there, he has got on lock. He can do that in any section there, a little bit more variety, and then a big, deep bottom turn for a hammer of the closeout section. Good surfing done here by Kanoa Igarashi. You'd have to say that these types of waves for Kanoa Igarashi, very similar to a trestles, very similar to a rincon, is one of everybody's surfer's dream. It's a rippable wave, and Kanoa did not disappoint. This is going to be a pretty good number. Watch again in slow motion. That turn, he goes up and has that drift. That's the layback, where you have that back arm stay behind you and then straight into a bottom turn. Late hits it up the top, but even gets a little fin chuck on the lip as it's coming down. He achieves the score. Now the answer by Leo.
Leo needs to improve upon a 6.5 on this effort. Starts with a couple of torqued out carves. That's going to be it.
Smart.
Leonardo doesn't see a future in that wave. He's going to keep his position and hang on to priority. So really, the drama now is going to be, will Kanoa Igarashi take the lead on that last wave?
To get his qualification, but he was able to work provisionally through the ISAs.
All right, medium-sized wave. The need is an 8.9. Something incredible needs to go down for Leo Fioravanti. Foreign Sounds is going to be his last effort. Kanoa Igarashi moving on into the quarterfinals.
That was fun, Kipes.
When we return, Griffin Colapinto versus Seth Moniz here at the Surf City.